Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where last episode we took over the vast majority of the Netfunken vestige. There's only this remaining, and we'll see if they decide to try that one again. We are of course bringing our fleets back to their station point, and that will help a lot on this energy credit issue. But there's still going to be a significant problem, no doubt about that. We're going to need to probably sell off some of these crystals, some of this zero, some of these volatile motes, maybe even some exotic gases. Yeah, I'll do it. That seems okay for now, and that'll keep us afloat for a while. The question is, once we make it back to Gothra, where is this going to put our energy credit deficit? And we'll figure that out. Hello, this generator world needs a job. Huh. That's interesting. There's an unemployed specialist and no unemployed worker? Something is lying to me here. I believe that this is actually 2 unemployed specialists. So all we need to do then is just wait for these to be demoted, is all that needs. How long will that be? Probably not very. This one is demoting in 211 days. Okay, I'm just going to leave that be for the time being. We do have some idle pops there. It's not the greatest, but it'll do for now. And we're definitely seeing our energy credits shift around, so that's very good. No problem there. And I believe we have an idle construction ship, if I remember correctly right now. 2 of them. Okay, so we have one down in Ezok. This was intended to come down and build an orbital ring here, which actually we can do right now. Do it. So that'll get going, and then we've got the crafty cuttlefish up in Perseus, which is a long ways away from constructing an orbital habitat. So that'll just be idle for the time being. And then as far as our fleet reinforcement goes, yeah, I think 25k is roughly the amount of alloys that we're going to need to fully reinforce our fleet. That'll be fine. Our major problem right now is the location of this magnetic storm. There's still 79 years on it, allegedly. So, oh, this is only 172. That's not too bad, actually. That seems pretty decent. So let's check through our planetary jobs here. Oh, wow. Okay, so these are some of those locations that we just took over. There's a lot of available housing here, but we have a requirement for some jobs. So what I'm thinking here right now is that we could definitely clear these tile blockers, although that won't necessarily be the top priority. We can clear off a couple of those tile blockers like that. And then there's some tile blockers here that are going to need to be cleared off, quite a number of them. This is going to use up energy credits, that's understood. I'm not too concerned about that. I just want to get these cleared eventually. So we'll let this happen like that. So all of these are currently constructing, and then this is doing that. We can bring back this Empyrean Dome, I suppose. 50 housing is a lot of housing. So yeah, we can keep that around. And then, does that give any jobs? No, just housing and amenities. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. One of these is going to become an unspecialized industrial world, hybrid producing alloys and consumer goods. And the other is going to become a generator world, at least in part. Actually, both of them could be hybrid in both regards. So what that ends up meaning is that we would build here an energy grid, and then build here an energy grid as well. Max out these generator districts, and max out these generator districts. Then we can see about getting industrial districts. We're going to have too much housing with the Empyrean Dome, so we can probably hop off of some of these city districts a bit later on. We'll think about that. But for now, that'll do. Okay, what else do we have going on planetary constructions? Do we have anything else? That's a possibility, but not necessarily a probability. Hello, Nemean Tertius here needs a Habitat Central Control. We can also toss in an Energy Nexus, and that looks good. That will boost up our energy production somewhat. So that would be absolutely phenomenal. I am not used to this scroll bar being this smooth. Okay, and nothing is actually needed here. Okay, so let's proceed here. That looks good. So 172, not so bad on the energy credit front. This magnetic storm is causing us a significant issue because of the Nunkey station. But for now, I guess it's okay. At least it's not like here where it's hitting both Marquez and Nunkey, because that would be painful. No doubt about that. But that's not where we are, and that looks good. Okay, so at this point, we're going to need a lot of additional alloys, and we're now positive in our energy credits. That's excellent. So let's buy 2,500 alloys here, and I want to put those alloys immediately into replenishing our fleets. So let's get that going. We need 57 total ships, and this was like 6 probably, 7? Yeah, 7. So that's going to be 50 additional ships needed. Understood. Okay, so all looks good there. I would like to have, and actually we can sell a few of these minerals. I'm going to sell off some food here. There we go, something like that. And what I'm mostly interested in doing right now is just getting our fleets replenished. Once our fleets are replenished, then we can start thinking about some other things at that point. But look at this population, 2643. I like it. That's looking good. We need it to look better. So checking in here, I don't want to make sales for most of these, although zero's okay. I guess we could sell some volatile modes. Rare crystals are a little low, so I don't want to sell those at this moment. But look at that. More alloys that we can buy in. I love it. Okay, so at this time, we can continue to replenish this. We need about 20,000 alloys to get this fully replenished. That's definitely going to be fairly extensive, but to be honest, with the prices being where they are, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So let's get some of that going. Excellent. Rising unemployment. Where is this? This is up in Poa, and Scum and Villainy on the core. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay, that's this location. We are working on this. This Empyrean Dome not being repaired? It should be. Let's have that be repaired, like, here, or so. Okay, that looks good. So we can institute the increased benefits. It'll be additional consumer goods usage. That's okay. And out in the core, we've got some crime going on, which isn't really surprising, is it? No, this is not surprising at all. Let's launch an anti-crime campaign here. I don't expect this to do a huge amount. The primary issue here is going to be the negative housing, right? I mean, and we'll take biological pop happiness for sure. We're at 94% devastation. This is not surprising that we're having significant issues here, so that is understood. New Federation President, the Sin Masticators. Okay, so that means that we no longer have control over the Federation fleet. That's unfortunate, but it's fine. It is indeed fine for the moment. So we're going to get more alloys purchased eventually, but right now is not the time for that. So that looks good. And still 2643. It was 2643 before, right? I actually don't remember. I think it was. That's the suspicion. But we're definitely starting to rebuild those locations, and Talon Prime, we should soon be seeing that demotion, which would be good. We would want to get these guys put to work. In fact, yes. I think one of them did, in fact, just get demoted. This is still a lie here? Or no, there's a worker unemployment. Wait, why is there a worker
System
unemployed?
survey complete.
Why is he unemployed? We have farmer and clerk jobs for him. Huh. Is he refusing to work in certain ways? That's interesting. This guy should not be unemployed, I don't think, unless he's incapable of working these types of jobs. But I don't see that. He's repugnant and wasteful, sure, but he's communal, natural physicists, very strong, tropical preference. There's nothing here that should be preventing him from working in one of these worker jobs. Maybe we just give it a month tick? Maybe he demoted and it needs to update. But that's very interesting. I would have expected this guy to be put to work by now. So let's see what happens on this month tick. that'll be interesting. I'm also potentially interested in getting a generator district built here. That'll max out our generator districts. So let's let that happen. Yeah, he got put to work on the month tick. Or he got promoted back up. Huh. He got promoted back up. That's weird. I don't know how that happened. We can upgrade this to a Storm Grand Theater. That would give them, I think, specialist jobs, so that should be reasonably fine. But that is strange. Very strange indeed. So we've got this research station here. We're going to want to put in a gene clinic and a habitation district. It's going to partially be a research station, sure. But not necessarily long term. Now we've got this generator station, and this absolutely is going to be a generator station. I'm going to put in an energy grid here, and then we're going to max out these reactor districts eventually. But for now, this is looking good. Okay, what else do we have going on down through our jobs here? The answer is not a whole lot, but we're still working on various things here. On the core, we're down to 93% devastation, so that's definitely making progress. Our system capital complex is going to be done first. I'm just thinking about the order in which we're doing things here. I think the auto forge should be before the Aegis complex. The dimensional fabricator is probably absolutely fine. Whoa, what is this? Oh, we terraformed Rel Rate, but we replicated Radar Station Alpha. Cool. So we also acquired a terraforming case study, so that seems great. Yeah, that is pretty good. So we just founded this colony, and we're going to put in a gene clinic, and we're going to put in a habitation district. Beautiful. So that all looks good. How's that other terraformation going? There should be a second one in here, I believe. No, we already did that, didn't we? We did. That was Ezok down here. So that is all taken care of. Looks good. Now, our science chips are currently idle. We should be researching these lower shield projects. So we'll get going on that. And we'll see what's under those shields. Could be interesting. This science chip here, I don't really feel like there's much for it to do, to be honest, at this moment. Unless there is, like, astral rifts out over in this territory somewhere. Which is a possibility, distinctly. And also, Radar Station Alpha 2 over here needs to be colonized. So we'll send out the colonization bugs. There we go. And I'm just checking around, looking for a potential astral rift. If there is one, I don't see it immediately. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm going to get rid of this science chip for now. We may rebuild it later. So that's all good. We're at 96 influence at this time, so the crafty cuttlefish is definitely going to need a lot of additional influence. It will remain idle for the time being. I want to check in on the price of alloys. Looking good. We'll buy a few of those. And we can reinforce our fleets. So that's going to be about 5,000. That's a little under a third of what we needed. So that's not bad. I like it. The Tsunami Fleet and the Tidal Wave Fleet are now both complete. The Deluge is being worked on. It needs some battleships, as well as a cruiser. Yeah, this is going to nearly finish the Deluge. Black Tide is pretty close. White Crush has taken a fair amount of damage, though.
Council agenda ready.
Okay, noted. So we need a new council agenda. We can launch our Evolving Society agenda. That'll be fine. Beyond that, what are we interested in? Well, Specialist Pop resource output's pretty good. Let's go with that. So that'll be fine for now. We also finished up here in Docile. So this is going to be a little problematic for us, of course. We're going to need to head to Lick Daban as soon as this autosave is over. There we go. And we just finished up in Vindemir as well. So we need to send out the colonization bugs here. There we go. And we need to build orbitals here. So that means that we're going to come and build a minor orbital here, here, major over the star, minor here, a bunch of minor orbitals around asteroids here. Okay, so something like that, and then this would be a major orbital here, and that's all we need for this system, in theory. Cool. So that'll get finished up eventually, but we find ourselves in a pretty big influence deficit, which is not surprising. Our power projection is low, and I would very much like to bring that back up. So let's buy in a few more alloys here, and of course pump that directly into our fleets. There we go. So the Black Tide is complete. The Deluge should be complete as well. Yes. So all we're going to need is going to be the White Crush ships and Hurricane. I forgot about Hurricane for some reason. But that doesn't look very expensive. So that looks excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and sell off a few of these rare crystals, as well as some zero and some volatile motes. Price on volatile motes, not great, but I guess is okay. And I'd love to buy more alloys, but we are currently not in a position to do that. So that looks
Blocker
fine.
cleared.
Let's check through these worlds again. Beyond Dazat here, it has 4 worker unemployment. Now, this is set up as a mining world. Ah, storm-ruined suburbs. Okay, I see. So what I'm thinking here is we put in... I think that mining is fine here. We put in a mineral purification plant. We build mining districts like that. Then we would be allowed to put in a energy grid here and put in generator districts, in theory. That's going to fill up pretty much all of our districts, but we can get more by building orbital rings, which we don't have orbital rings around these worlds. We have them around these worlds, if I recall correctly. Yes. And we're going to need to definitely build some orbital rings around these worlds out here. So that is definitely something to think about. And let's continue to check through these planetary constructions for now. Okay, that's underway. Looks good. So we've still got this awkwardness on Talon. This is down to 1 specialist unemployment now. Okay. Well, maybe that'll get solved eventually. Maybe. For now, let's hop on down over here. Not this far. I want to hop down to about here. There we go. We've got a construction ship idle in Weir, and there's not much to be done here other than move into Baltris. Once again, we're in a pretty big deficit of influence. So, of course, Lictabon is idle. Perseus is idle. That's going to be 3 idle construction ships. I'm actually going to send this one over to start building orbital rings, now that I think about it. So let's go over to Poa and begin building an orbital ring here. Yeah, that costs 50 influence, but it's relatively cheap to get that done. So let's do that. I don't think I want to move the one in Baltris right now, because we don't have many construction ships in this area. Same with the one in Perseus. I think those are going to remain for the moment. So yeah, we can just head out over here. We can build a few of these orbital rings. That'll be fine. And also, we'd like to get Cabji. That's something we could do too. That'll also require influence, so
Blocker
that's painful.
cleared.
That said, our influence gains are going to be going up somewhat because we're in a situation right now where we're further increasing our amount of power projection here. But we're only at 80% power projection. I'm currently strongly considering getting another fleet because of that power projection. We'll see what we're at once we get this all completely replenished, right? So 7,400 is probably the actual amount of alloys we need. Let's buy in another 2,500 here and put that in. Excellent. So that's basically all of the corvettes, at least, that we need for the White Crush. Maybe we need more. There's a fair amount of corvettes that we need here. That should be all of the destroyers, and that is also the cruiser, so that looks good. Those should get in there fairly quickly. How's that price on alloys? Still 2.64, so I would not be surprised if shortly after this month tick, there is a drop in the price of alloys. That's been kind of the pattern. Although apparently not in this case. Okay, so let's sell some rare crystals, some zero, some volatile motes. That'll all be fine. And I'd love to buy more alloys, but not at this price. So we'll come back to that. We're going to be building our orbital ring in Poa here for a while. That's understood. And these shield worlds here, we'll see what's on them. It might be very interesting. It might be too interesting. We'll see. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It'll just take time. So we're getting a bunch of orbitals built, and that's not surprising in the slightest. We do have 2 idle construction ships at this time, and I would definitely like to continue to build up our influence here. So we can see we're up to 82 now for a power projection. So that's looking better anyway. But I'd definitely like to bring that up more. Let's buy in alloys again and continue to work on this. So this is going to be very, very close to fully maxed out. We're just going to need a few extra Corvettes. So this is going to be 6 in total. So this is going to go to 54. We need 2 Corvettes is what we need. 2 Corvettes. Okay. So that's looking absolutely wonderful. We'll reinforce this fleet very shortly. That was saying 5 ships. But this built 2 Corvettes. Okay. The game is slightly confused in some areas, it would seem. That's fine. So that should be all of these fleets fully replenished. And that will bring us up to maybe like 84 on the power projection. It's certainly not going to be maxed. That's for sure. We definitely need to get some more naval coverage here. Okay, so there's all of those ships built. No ships, or rather no fleets, will be in need of reinforcements. There's still some destroyers being built. Let's let those finish. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Apparently this still needs some additional ships. Let's buy 2,500 more alloys. There we go. And let's get those reinforced. There we go. Final 3 Corvettes. Looks good. Okay, once those are built, I want to check in on our power projection. And then we'll decide whether or not we want to make another fleet. We probably do, ultimately, but we'll see. For right now, we have this mining station. It needs a job. I'm interested in grabbing these resources for sure. So let's go ahead and put in, for the moment, an energy grid. And we're also ultimately going to want a mineral processing plant there, but for the moment, that's fine. We've only got the 1 job. So that seems okay for the moment. Cushop Secundus requires a job as well. We can upgrade our astral funnel. Wonderful. Penic Prime, needing a job. So this is a research station. We can just spam out these 0G research districts as we need them, and that'll be fine. We're going to want to build things like an observatory and stuff here, but we'll get to that. Okay, so Talon Prime here, still being super awkward.
Cleared.
This worker is refusing to work. We've got technician jobs, we've got farmer jobs, we've got clerk jobs, and we've got a storm dancer job. And this guy... Okay, now he finally took a job, it looks like. He took a storm dancer job. So he was refusing to work a worker job despite being a worker. Interesting. I wonder if that was a bug. That can happen with traits sometimes, but he didn't have one of those traits. So I'm not entirely certain what was going on with that guy, but at least we found a job for him. Oshlar Secundus requires a job, and we can definitely upgrade our Advanced Orbit Attraction Center, I suppose. Sure. We'll get that going for now. Anything else needed in here for the moment? Well, no, that looks good for right now. Excellent. We're at 171 influence, so that means that the crafty cuttlefish can come into Perseus, and begin building out over here. So a Habitat Central Complex will go in there, and we're now down to 1 idle construction ship over in Baltris. So that's good, but eventually we're going to want this thing constructing, right? That's for sure. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to work on our economy here. We really need to think about whether we want to get that 7th fleet or not, and I'm leaning towards doing it. But we also still need to work on getting these defense platforms done, right? I mean, Ayabal is not complete yet, and we're at the max capacity, but it has not gotten all the way through the list. So that's understood. We've got Amlitzer here needing 48 defense platforms, and we should be able to get that done fairly quickly, but our alloys are going to be spread very thin if we're also building a new fleet with that. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.